Sarah, you lazy bones! Don't tell me you're still asleep. How do you expect to be productive when you sleep all the time?
I worked late last night, Mom, so I slept in. I'm not even done with the task. Working on it now.
Oh, please. I don't have time for this. I need you to do something for me right away. Wash those clothes in the laundry before I return. They belong to your sister and I. We don't have the time to wash them, but you definitely do.
Mom, I'm also busy. You know that. Besides, the washing machine is broken and we're yet to fix it.
Don't you have hands? Put those tiny, lazy fingers to use.
What? I can't do that, Mom. I just told you I have a task I need to finish up today, so doing anything else will make me miss my deadline.
A task that doesn't exist, right? All you do is sit in front of the computer all day doing nothing. You spend the entire day indoors and refuse to do chores. I didn't raise you to be so lazy. You must do your bit in the house.
My bit? I do everything here. I cook, clean, and keep the house in order. Neither you nor Agnes does anything to help. I do all these, even with my job, yet I never complain. But it's never enough for you.
You're going to wash the clothes, as I said. Don't get me angry, Sarah.
I can't do it, Mom. If I don't meet my deadline, I could lose my job. I've already called the technician who will fix the washing machine. He will fix it tomorrow.
Job? Please, don't make me laugh. You're jobless and lying won't change that. You should try to be more like your younger sister. She works at a reputable bank and gets a good salary. She pays the rent. Do you know how much that costs?
She pays the rent? So what? It's not that big of a deal. I take care of our everyday bills. I buy the groceries, food, and much more. It hurts me when you downplay my contribution, Mom.
Blah, blah, blah. You're always looking for a chance to argue. I don't have time for this. Go wash the clothes or there'll be hell to pay. One more thing. Prepare dinner as well. Your sister and I would be starving by the time we return.
Mom, did you just lock me out of the house? All I did was step out to get some coffee from the cafe. I've looked for the spare key and I can't find it. Did you take it with you as well?
Yeah, I locked you out. That's what you get for being disobedient and lazy. You refused to wash and cook as I asked, so now you pay for it. I've enabled your laziness for too long, and it's time to make you buckle up.
That's no reason to lock me out. I've got a lot to do right now. So let's not do this now, please. How do I get in?
You won't, until I return or your sister does. Why don't you look at the brighter side of this, though? You won't stay in front of your computer all day playing video games and watching silly videos. Use this time to go out and look for a job.
Ugh, Mom, I can't be out here. I have an online meeting with my boss in 30 minutes. I can't miss it for anything in the world.
What kind of job can possibly be done online? How can it pay better than what real jobs would? You enjoy being worthless so you can mooch off of your sister and I. I won't have it, girl. Not anymore. So get out of there and look for a real job, or spend the rest of the day in the sun.
I'll break the locks if I have to. I really can't miss that meeting, Mom. This meeting determines my promotion. I'm serious, Mom. I'm getting into the house one way or the other. I need the key. Mom!
Girl, you really have some guts. I warned you not to break the locks, but you did.
I replaced them immediately, Mom. I dropped copies for you and Agnes on the dining table.
So what? That doesn't make you a hero. I saw the locks you got. I know them. They're high-end locks and really expensive. Why on earth would you spend so much money on them? If you had that much savings, we could have bought a new washing machine, instead of having to fix that broken one.
Mom, the washing machine does not need to be changed. It's still in good condition.
That's no reason to waste money. Honestly, though, I'm not surprised. You only have that kind of money because you contribute next to nothing in this house. You keep blabbing about groceries and bills, but that's only a fraction compared to what your sister does. I'm getting tired of you, Sarah, and I mean that in every sense of the word. You better get yourself in order, or I'll have to kick you out of my house.
What? You'll kick me out?
In a heartbeat. After all, you are of no use to me. Buckle up, or you'll find yourself in the streets.
I need you to do something for me right away. It's super important.
Whatever it is, I can't. I'm busy right now. Find someone else to run your errand.
Come on, don't be like that. I need you to go to my boyfriend's house. You'll find his spare key under his foot mat. There's a wrapped gift on the dining table. Bring it to the office. I got it for my boss's birthday.
Didn't you read my previous message? I'm working on a project right now. Have your boyfriend send it to you. Besides, his house is closer to your office compared to the house. You can head over and grab it, or he can easily drop it off for you. If both are impossible, you can take it on your way home from work.
Do you have to make me beg you? You're my sister. Can't you do this for me? Instead of chatting, you could have been on your way already, and you'll be back home in an hour. It's not like you're doing anything at home, is it? Everyone knows you're jobless.
Not you too, Agnes. I might take it from Mom, but I wouldn't accept it from you at all.
Why? Because the truth hurts? You're jobless and you bring nothing home. I can't believe you would refuse my requests after all the sacrifices I make for you. You're my elder sister. You should be taking care of me. But no, you're incapable of that. So I'm the one taking care of you. I have to pay the rent. Do you know how much that costs me? $1,500. That's how much I have to pay every month because I have an elder sister who prefers to do nothing. How much do you think is left of my salary afterward? Chump change. You don't know the sacrifices I make for you. So when I send you on an errand, do it.
Agnes, have you forgotten we live right in the middle of the city? Do you know how expensive the cost of living is here? I handle it all. The groceries, the light, water, all the bills that come each month. If I don't take care of them, how will you survive?
Don't try to exaggerate your importance here, okay? You can't beat $1,500 a month. I'm ashamed of you. You better go get that gift or I'll make sure you regret it. Mark my words.
Sarah, how could you do that to your sister? She asked for just one favor from you and you disappointed her. You knew just how important yesterday was to her, and all you had to do was get the gift from her boyfriend, and you failed. How can you be so heartless?
Heartless? Mom, why would you say such a thing about me? I clearly told her I couldn't do it, but she refused to believe me. I had a job to do yesterday, and I couldn't just dump everything because she refused to stop over at her boyfriend's.
No, you and I are not having this conversation. I'm sick and tired of getting this from you. You could have easily done this to help your sister, but you refused. Now she gave nothing to her boss, and she just might be passed over when it's time for promotion.
What? She knew it was that important, and she refused to listen when I said I couldn't go.
Shut up! This is pure jealousy. The fact that your sister works in a bank and pays the rent eats you up. She's at a level you'll never attain, and you want to bring her down. Are you happy now? You never wanted what's best for her anyway. Would you be happy if she got fired from her job and both of you had to stay at home?
How can you accuse me of trying to sabotage her career? I made more sacrifices for her than you ever could. I worked multiple jobs while in college just so I could pay her tuition. You refused to pay, remember? And you're accusing me of wanting to ruin her life? That's unfair.
You did those things because that's your duty as her elder sister. And it doesn't excuse the fact that you just tried to ruin her life now.
You're the one poisoning her against me, Mom. You know that, right?
She knows the right thing to do, unlike you. You're a bad influence, and I don't want you close to her anymore. Who knows what you'll do next? Probably steal her certificate or something. I'm not going to wait to find out, though. You're moving out today.
What? You can't kick me out? Where would I go?
Who cares? I did warn you this was going to happen, didn't I? Leave my house. I want nothing more to do with you.
You're really gonna do this?
You have until the end of today. If not, you'll know just how serious I am about this.
Sarah, you've really been holding out on us, haven't you? You're just so ungrateful.
What is it, Agnes? I no longer live with you guys. Can you leave me alone now?
Tell me something. How were you able to get a house so quickly? I know you're broke, so unless you had some savings, there's no way you could have pulled it off. You stayed with your friends for a few days and moved into your place soon after. How did you do it?
Were you expecting me to live in the streets because Mom kicked me out? If I wanted to get a place that very day Mom kicked me out, I could have done that. The only reason it took a few days is because I had to find the best place for me.
Whatever. I'm sure it took all your savings just to get a place. You're really broke and wretched now. LOL. You're trying to show that you can survive without us, but you're wrong. Don't bother coming to beg me for money when you run out, because you won't get it.
Believe me, I won't be coming. Matter of fact, you're the one that shouldn't come begging. In case you haven't noticed, it's that time of the month, Agnes.
What do you mean?
You'll be paying the rent soon, remember?
I know. I'll be collecting my salary soon and I'll pay it at once. What's the big deal?
LOL. The rent is not my issue. My concern is what comes after you pay it.
What's that supposed to mean? What are you on about?
LOL. Talk to you later.
Don't go, Sarah. What do you mean by that?
Sarah, you've really failed your family. You refused to reach out and you kept your good news to yourself.
What do you mean, Mom? What's the news?
I just spoke to one of your friends. They told me about how much of a big shot you are in the online community. Is this true? They said you work for a big company that pays you a lot of money.
LOL, of course it's true. I've always told you, but you chose not to believe. I'm a software developer. I don't have to leave my room to work. All I need is a good computer and strong internet. You never believed me when I told you. All you wanted was to see me go out each day and come back at night. You insulted and belittled me every time. Well, the joke is on you.
You should have made me understand. This is your fault, Sarah. You know I'm not versed in this techie stuff. It's your job to enlighten me.
How could I do that when all you saw me as was worthless and a waste of space?
Okay then, it's all in the past now. It's time for you to come home.
What? Are you for real? I just paid the rent here.
Okay, then your sister and I will come and live with you.
Hell no.
Sarah, please, you have to let us live with you. Since Agnes paid the rent, we've been barely surviving. The rent ate up a big chunk of her salary, and now there's no money for groceries or even to pay the bills. Our bills have piled up, and we're seriously running into debt. We can't keep up anymore.
We don't live together anymore, Mom. None of this is my business. You kept comparing me to Agnes, not knowing she earned way less than me. What's $1,500? I spent nothing less than $2,500 every month when I lived with you guys. I spent that much and I endured all the torture you both put me through. Now that I'm out, nothing will make me go through it again.
I didn't know, okay? I'm sorry. We're family and we need to stick together, no matter what.
You should have thought of that before kicking me out. You believed I was broke, and you felt it was a great idea to send me into the streets. Family would never have done that. Goodbye, Mom. I want nothing more to do with you.
Hold on. Sarah! Sarah!
Hey sis, I just had this crazy conversation with Mom. Did you really spend $2,500 a month on the bills? How can I possibly afford all that?
I'm sure you'll think of something. It's none of my business.
No, you have to come back home. I can't do this anymore. I'm always broke, the bills keep increasing, and we barely eat well these days. I'm at my wit's end, Agnes. I'm sorry for how rude I was to you, okay? I didn't know just how much you were doing for the family, and I let the fact that I paid the rent get into my head. Just come back. I'm losing my mind right now.
Like I told Mom, I'm not coming back, and you guys are not joining me either. You chose this, so you bear the consequences. I'm focusing on my life now, and neither you nor Mom belong in it. I'm worthless to you, remember? Now that's what you are to me as well.
That was all a mistake, Sarah. We're your family. Don't do this to us. Sarah!
Agnes and my mom kept trying to come live with me, but I remained adamant. They couldn't keep up with the harsh demands of the city, so they had to move to the suburbs where there was cheaper accommodation, but that only meant Agnes had to struggle every day with long hours of traffic.
Oh my god, Demi! Can you believe your wedding is only 1 week away? I'm so excited for you. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, April. Yeah, I know. I can hardly believe it myself. I never thought the day would arrive, and now it's only a week away.
Well, I've got your present, so I can drop it off at yours whenever you're free. Also, I've got my dress picked out, and I think it should look okay. I just wanted your opinion on it.
A dress?
Yeah, for the wedding. It's a one-shoulder thing and light blue. I got it at that really nice dress place in town. I also managed to find some really gorgeous shoes to go with it, and they were half off as well. But it'll probably be easier to show you the whole outfit when you have a minute. I just want to make sure that I don't clash with anything or that I'm not in the same color as your bridesmaids, as that would be a little awkward, considering, that I'm not a bridesmaid.
Ugh, not this again. I told you why I didn't make you a bridesmaid. I had too many friends who I wanted to include, and I decided that it would be easier to have my friends as the bridesmaids instead of my family, as there was a nice even number of them.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. It would just have been nice to be a part of your big day in some way. But I don't mind. After all, it is your wedding.
Precisely. It is my wedding day, so you have to do what I say and what I want. Anyway, why don't you come on over now?
Really? You're not too busy? I mean, I can wait if you want me to.
No, it's fine. Me and the girls are just having a little get-together and sorting out last-minute things for the wedding. So we'll all be able to give you an opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I'll be there soon then.
Great. See you then.
What the hell, Demi? Why would you just go and dump water on me like that? Are you actually insane?
Huh? Of course not. It's just, when I saw that dress, I simply thought that it looked like it belonged in the water. So I was trying to help you out. The whole blue thing really did make it seem like you were trying to mimic the ocean.
What? That's just... Are you seriously telling me that you're so mean that you purposely threw water over my dress? Just for the fun of it? If you didn't like the dress, all you had to do was say so.
Well, it's not that I didn't like the dress. It was actually a really nice dress. Although, I think it would look better on Tori than on you.
Then why did you throw water on it?
Isn't it obvious?
Clearly not, otherwise I wouldn't be asking.
Oh well. Looks like you'll have to stay home now and miss the wedding. What a shame.
Oh, so that's what all this was about. You just don't want me to be at your wedding? Are you really that petty and self-centered that you'd actually throw a glass of water over me just to get me to leave? And to make matters worse, you had to do it in front of all of your friends? To humiliate me?
Oh, honey. Yeah, I did actually. I thought it would be funny, and it was. Besides, I did try to tell you that I didn't want you at my wedding. I mean, I didn't even send you an invitation, so you'd have thought that you would have gotten the message. I couldn't have you showing up thinking that you were wanted there.
God, I honestly don't know what Brad sees in you. I mean, if this is how you treat your sister, then I'd hate to see how you treat your husband when you get into an argument.
Well, you don't need to worry about that, as it's none of your business. Besides, he's got all of the money, so I don't want to be too mean to him, just in case.
Oh, of course. Can't have the man who's paying for your entire life cut you off now, can we?
I know you're being sarcastic and everything, but I don't care. You're just jealous that I am marrying a man with quite a lot of money, and you're stuck being the poor loser you always were.
Hang on. Is that why you don't want me coming to the wedding? Because you think that I'm poor?
I don't think anything. I know you're a broke nobody. You're my sister, after all. Besides, my fiancé doesn't want you at the wedding either.
What?
Yep, Brad told me himself that he doesn't want you here. He sees you as nothing more than an annoying little pest. He also has a reputation to maintain. There are going to be lots of his rich friends and business partners at this thing, and he doesn't want a poor person getting in the way.
He does not think that, does he?
Yes, he actually does. You can even ask him yourself.
But I thought that we had a good relationship, that he liked me. Every time you brought him to Mom and Dad's house, and every time that we hung out, he seemed to like talking to me.
Well, he was just pretending. But if you don't believe me, you can ask him yourself.
Fine, I will, and I'll prove you wrong whilst I'm at it.
I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. Anyway, once me and Brad are married, it won't matter.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for starters, we'll be cutting off everyone who isn't rich or who doesn't have money. We seriously can't be having people trying to leech money off of us all the time. And by people, I mean you.
Huh?
Yeah. We can't be having some pathetic, selfish, attention-hogging little girl trying to take all of Brad's money now, can we?
I'm guessing that spot's reserved for you, is it?
Oh, you're so funny.
Anyway, there's no reason why I would want his money. I seriously don't care about it at all. And Mom and Dad will tell you the same. Besides, they won't let you kick me out of the wedding. They'll always have my back. Especially against someone as horrible as you.
Well, they might be changing their minds very soon. Especially when I tell them that if they don't let me kick you out of the wedding, then I won't fund their retirement.
What? You'd actually not help them out with their retirement simply because they told you to let me go to your wedding?
Yep. Look, I can deal with helping my parents out because they're my parents. So if I have to elevate them out of being poor, then fine. But you are on your own. If you wanted money, then you should have worked harder, shouldn't you?
What's that got to do with anything?
Duh, the whole reason why I'm marrying Brad is for his money. He's not exactly the most interesting person on the planet, don't you know? I mean, his dad owns a fairly successful business, one that brings him a decent amount of money anyway, and I want to make sure that I can live a life free of work and responsibilities. That also means that I want to get to know other people of the same status and not get dragged down and made fun of because I have a poor sister.
Well, if the people that you want to talk to are that shallow, then they're not good people, are they?
Who cares? They're rich, and so they're the kind of people I need to hang out with to maintain my popularity. And you are definitely not included in that scenario.
Why are you being so horrible? Do you really dislike me that much?
I don't just dislike you. I hate you. Before you were born, Mom and Dad gave me all of their attention and love. We were a happy family. But when you were born, they just completely ignored me and focused all of their attention on you. It wasn't fair.
I was a baby. They kind of require a bit of attention so that they don't die.
Well, whatever. It was still unfair. And so now I get to decide who gets to be in my life. I'm going to be the one who everyone is looking at on my wedding day, and you won't be there to steal any attention. Got it?
So basically, you're just jealous of me, and so you're trying to exclude me from everything?
What? Why would I be jealous of you?
I don't know. That's the problem. It's not like I asked to be born. I mean, you're supposed to be my big sister, and yet you seem to be hating me simply for being born. That's probably why you want to marry Brad as well, isn't it? You want to be able to brag to your friends that you're rich and that your husband owns a business so that you can be the center of attention. I mean, how shallow is that? You'd throw your family away over money.
Well, not all of my family. Mom and Dad can stay.
Oh gee, wow. How kind of you.
Whatever. Look, just stay away from my wedding or I'll throw another bucket of water over you. Got it? Oh, but I still want that present. It is my wedding after all. I deserve the presence and adoration of everyone on my special day, even if they are poor losers like you. At least you'll be good for something by giving me a present.
Whatever. It sounds like it's going to be a lame wedding anyways.
What? How dare you say that? My wedding would never be lame.
Yeah? Well, I think all of the pink lace and the fact that all of your guests are just going to be boring business people beg to differ.
Then save yourself the shame. Skip my wedding. My luxury wedding is not for poor people like you.
Fine, I'll skip it. But remember, you might regret this decision.
Huh? What do you mean by that? April?
April, where are you? I've just got a few questions about your sister's wedding and needed some help picking out some last-minute clothes. Do you think you could help?
Yeah, sure, Dad.
Great. I know you're all sorted for the wedding, so I don't need to ask you if you need anything, do I? Hey, maybe I could get a tie to match your dress or something?
Oh, that's sweet, Dad, but actually, I'm, not going to the wedding.
What? Why not?
Well, basically, Demi chucked a bunch of water over my dress the other day, right in front of her friends. She humiliated me and then told me that she didn't want me at her wedding, as I was poor and would make her look bad.
Hey, hang on, what? She chucked water on you? Was it an accident?
No, she did it on purpose. She also said that she basically has never loved me or wanted me to be a part of the family. Apparently, she thinks that I was an accident who ruined her life because I took all of your attention, or something like that.
Well, that's just ridiculous. You might not have been planned, but your mother and I love you so much, and we wouldn't have had it any other way. But we also love your sister. The fact that she thinks we stopped loving her the moment you were born is completely ridiculous.
Thanks, Dad. But there was something else that Demi said which has got me worried.
What is it?
Well, she said that she wouldn't help you or Mom in your retirement unless you kick me out of the family.
She said that?
Yeah. Look, I don't want to be the reason that Demi doesn't help you out. With the money that she's marrying into, she could make sure that you and Mom are comfortable in your retirement and not worrying about money or anything like that. So, if you want me to leave, I will. I can figure something out.
April, don't be ridiculous. There's no way that I would ever kick you out of the family. I don't care if Demi doesn't help us out with our retirement. Your mom and I have been saving up for our entire adult lives, so we'll be fine. You're my daughter, and you're much more important to me than money will ever be, okay?
Really, Dad?
Yes, now you just leave your sister to me. I'll sort her out.
What do you mean?
Well, I plan on making a little speech at the wedding where I was planning on giving Demi a fairly large sum of money to help get a house or something with. Your mother and I have been saving up for the both of you, but maybe now I'll finally get that ensuite put in. But you don't need to worry about that. You just make sure that you're okay. I'll sort everything else out.
Thank you, Dad. I love you.
I love you too, sweetie.
What have you done, you witch? How have you turned Brad and our parents against me like that? I can't believe what's just happened.
Huh? Demi? Why are you messaging me? Aren't you supposed to be celebrating?
Don't act dumb with me. I can't believe what you made Dad do.
I've not made him do anything. Why? What's happened?
Well, we were all enjoying the reception and then it came time for the toasts. I thought that Dad would give a nice little toast, congratulating me and Brad, and then give me a sum of money that I know he has been saving up for this very occasion. Instead, he turned around and said that he was incredibly disappointed in me for how I had turned out as a woman, saying that I was horrible and selfish as I had even kicked you out of the wedding. He also said that I was only marrying Brad for his money.
Well, I mean, it's all true, isn't it?
So what? It was so humiliating. I had already bragged to all of my friends about how rich I would be, and now I'm not going to have a single dollar.
Why aren't you going to have any money?
Because when Dad said all of that stuff, Brad wasn't too pleased. He had no clue that I'd uninvited you, and he thought that it was an incredibly horrible thing to do. He also didn't like the fact that I was only marrying him for his money. He's decided to annul the marriage and leave me, and it's all your fault.
Actually, no, it isn't. All I did was tell my dad what you had said and done to me. He came up with this idea all himself. You know Dad has always prided himself on his virtues, including his kindness and his loyalty to his family. If someone tries to mess with the people that he loves, then he will make sure that they know not to do that again. Clearly, he felt as if you had forgotten that family comes first, and he wanted to remind you of this lesson. As for Brad leaving, well, it looks like he has had some sense after all.
I can't believe it. You have to talk to Dad and make him fix this mess.
I don't have to do anything. Not until you change your selfish ways.
What?
Yep. Looks like you need to start working on being nicer to people.
Ugh, this is so unfair. I hate you for this.
Uh-huh. Well, you've only got yourself to blame. Goodbye, Demi. After finding out the truth behind why Demi wanted to marry him, Brad called off the wedding and decided to leave her. He didn't want to be with someone who was only with him for his money. Instead, he focused on his business and on expanding it to make it even more successful than it already was. He apologized to me after hearing what my sister had said to me about how he didn't like me. It turned out that Brad actually did like me, and Demi was just jealous and trying to keep me away from him. Because her marriage fell through, Demi was forced to get a job as she had no other way to support herself. She ended up working as a cleaner at a local office building. As for me, I was sad that I had lost my sister, someone who I thought would always be there for me. However, it was the best thing to do to cut her out of my life, as she was a toxic and horrible person who would have done nothing but make my life more difficult. I have since gone on to climb up in my job, and I am actually earning quite a decent amount of money. If Demi had bothered to ask me, she would have learned that I wasn't bothered about her money because I was earning more than enough for myself. However, sometimes people just have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Maybe one day she will apologize and we will be able to start rebuilding our relationship again. But until then, I will continue to live my best life and be happy with what I have and the people around me. After all, money isn't everything.